your station for Hawaii's first news of the day. This is KHON TV, Honolulu, Hawaii. The Channel 2 News is next.
Insurance claims from Hurricane Iniki forced the fifth largest insurance company in the state to fold. Disturbances at a safe house forced police to move Anthony Kekona to the cell block. And stadium manager Ken Kiabu apologizes for the controversy at Aloha Stadium.
The Channel 2 News with Joe Moore, Hawaii's #1 news.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday, the 3rd of December. Escalating claims from policyholders on Kauai in the wake of Hurricane Iniki have now put the fifth largest insurer in the state out of business. And as Lori Wong reports, it will eventually impact all insurance costs in Hawaii.
Hawaiian Insurance Group, a subsidiary of Hawaiian Electric Industries, provides insurance to about 63,000 commercial and individuals in Hawaii. But more than 6,200 claims from Kauai policyholders is estimated to exceed $300 million, which is more than the company can handle.
We have been looking at how many claims there are and how many of our policyholders, and just about all of them, have suffered a loss of some sort.
Hawaiian Electric Industries says it can't support that kind of loss and will pull its remaining investment and declare an additional $17 million loss, bringing its total after-tax loss from the hurricane to more than $63 million.
We're just astounded. Had we known, of course, in retrospect, that a Force 4 hurricane would hit the islands and with this magnitude, of course, we never would have made that investment at all.
Adams says that the news came as a shock to employees today that effective immediately, the company will stop renewing and writing policies.
We'll probably retain the vast majority, if not all, of our claims operation because our main interest now is to continue to pay claims.
If the company is declared insolvent under the state law, payment to policyholders would be activated from the Hawaii Insurance Guarantee Association. But the result of the loss will ultimately mean higher insurance prices for everyone in the state. I'm Lori Wong, Channel 2 News.
Customers of Hawaiian Insurance Group who have questions about their policy should contact their company directly. Honolulu police have transferred admitted killer Anthony Kekona out of a so-called safe house and into the police cell block because of his destructive behavior. Police Chief Michael Nakamura confirmed the move was made for increased security, but he declined to go into detail. Kekona was brought back to Honolulu to testify in the murder trial of John Kalani Lincoln as a result of a deal made by the state attorney general's office. He says Lincoln hired him to shoot 3 people on Maui in 1978. Kekona refused to testify until he was promised that he could serve his time on Maui in a minimum security prison. The state, for years, refused that demand. Prior to this trial, Kekona was being held in federal custody in the nation's toughest prison. Kekona is now under constant camera supervision in a cell used to imprison inmates who were considered at risk for violence. The defense attorney for Kekona has subpoenaed the state prisons chief to testify in court tomorrow. Until now, George Sumner, director of the Department of Public Safety, has refused to comment on the Kekona matter, referring calls to the attorney general. Aloha Stadium manager Ken Kiabu issued a statement today apologizing about the way recent office renovations were financed. But Kiabu also defended the financing, saying all involved had honorable motives. Kiabu's statement comes as another lawmaker calls for an investigation into how the refurbishing was paid for. Ann Botticelli reports.
Ken Kiabu says he's deeply concerned and frankly very hurt by how newspaper reports portray a $50,000 office renovation accomplished in a series of contracts for just under $4,000 each, the maximum amount allowed to be spent without competitive bids. Kiabu said he wanted to refurbish the office before a possible visit by President George Bush last Pearl Harbor Day and before last January's nationally televised bowl games. Says Kiabu, many people are forgetting that we brought the work in for a good price price in a short time span. And he says if we had to go through the normal bid process, it would have taken 3 to 6 months. Kiabu said the price would have been higher. Kiabu said he's cooperating with State Controller Bob Takushi's review of the contracts, but one state senator thinks the matter should be referred to the city prosecutor.
I think it's appropriate. I think it's more appropriate that the investigation be conducted by the prosecutor's office because of the potential for criminal penalties than to have it handled as an internal matter within the Department of Accounting and General Services.
Blair has asked Takushi to halt his investigation and refer the matter to prosecutor Keith Kaneshiro, but Takushi this afternoon declined.
I'm the comptroller and the head of the department. I perceive it my duty to find out what happened in this particular situation.
Takushi says when he's finished with his review, he'll consult with the state attorney general. Ann Botticelli, Channel 2 News.
Prosecutor Kaneshiro and First Deputy Attorney General Ruth Sujimura both say the Attorney General's office is equipped to deal with the criminal investigation if Takushi decides one is needed. Ala Moana Center had more than its share of visitors this afternoon, and many of them were not there to shop. Traffic was rerouted through the shopping center and Ala Moana Beach Park while firefighters cooled a burning propane tank on the back of a flatbed truck. State workers had apparently been painting new lines on the road with thermoplastic, which they say is melted into liquid form. One of the seals on a tank broke and began leaking. Fire officials say heat ignited the gas, causing flames to shoot out one of the tanks. All 6 lanes of Ala Moana Boulevard were temporarily closed while firefighters waited for the tank to empty. The University of Hawaii is still investigating what caused a chemical explosion last night that injured an associate professor and 2 students. Officials say Craig Jensen was working with the chemicals potassium chloride and red phosphorus when the flask he was holding exploded. He remains in fair condition in Queens Medical Center, suffering from injuries to his hands and face. A university spokeswoman says Jensen is an authority on these chemicals and was being assisted in his experiment by 2 students. They were both treated and released. Coming up on our Channel 2 News, the final campaign spending reports for the Honolulu mayor's race. And boy, was it expensive. And we'll go out to Ewa for a dedication ceremony for Hawaiian Electric's new coal-powered generating plant. And a little later, we'll join Emmy Tamimbong at Tamron Park for the Bishop Square Christmas lighting ceremony.
Health Plan Hawaii, designed for today's lifestyle. A health plan created by HMSA to care for you and your family when you're sick and when you're healthy.
With Health Plan Hawaii, I feel like I finally have a real health plan.
They have preventive services like physical exams, routine care for young children, and more. All at first-rate health centers all over the state, and all at no extra charge.
So if you really care about your health, look into Health Plan Hawaii.
For people who want to be healthy and stay healthy.
Ooh, guess who's coming? He got big stomach. He's all yellow. He's got millions of fluffy feathers. His beak is this long. He's got stripes on his legs. He's giant. He's all the way up, 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 when he can't fly because he's too fat.
Hawaii Center.
Pizza Hut wants you to share in the magic of Walt Disney's newest video classic, Beauty and the Beast. Now your kids can collect Beast, Belle, Chip, and Cogsworth. Each puppet's $1.49 with any pizza purchase. And when you buy the video at your local video store, you get the Pizza Hut value card for great pizza values. So experience the fantasy of Beauty and the Beast, now with Pizza Hut.
Make someone's holiday season a little brighter with JCPenney. Together, we can make a difference. Bring in any non-perishable food item or new toy to your nearest JCPenney store. We're collecting food and toys for distribution to those in need for the upcoming holidays. In appreciation of your generosity, we'll exchange your donation for a 25% off JCPenney shopping certificate. Please join us at JCPenney for this 5-day effort. Together, we can make a difference.
The Channel 2 News is sponsored in part by American Savings Bank.
Want a bank that gives you the most for your money? We hear you.
Honolulu Mayor Frank Fosse and his Democratic challenger Dennis O'Connor spent nearly $2 million between them in the final 2 weeks leading to Election Day. Reports filed with the Campaign Spending Commission today show Fosse spent $1,076,805 from October 20th to November 3rd, leaving him with a campaign surplus of a little more than $1.5 million. During the same period, O'Connor spent $832,000, $525,000 of which was his own money loaned to his campaign. O'Connor's campaign shows a deficit of $796,513. Each candidate spent the bulk of his funds on radio, television, and print advertising. The first coal-operated power plant in Hawaii since the turn of the century is set to go online. Dedication ceremonies were held today for a $380 million AES Barbers Point facility. The AES Corporation president, Roger Sant, says the state-of-the-art power plant burns coal cleaner than any comparable facility that burns fossil fuels.
Any power plant, of course, has pollution. We've gotten it down to world-class levels. We believe it's the lowest in one pollutant of anything in the world, and it's in the top 5 overall, probably, of any plant in the world.
Sant also says stable coal prices provide an added security against the fluctuating world oil market. Officials say the plant will provide some 18% of the power to Oahu residents, greatly reducing the state's dependency on oil. State Health Department inspectors took samples today from piles of soil alongside a Honolulu back road. The man who had the dirt hauled there says it was contaminated with petroleum, but he can clean it and use it to restore some valuable windward Oahu farmland. Ray Lovell has the story.
City-owned.
Robert Stay says the soil was piled up in a downtown parking lot for 9 months before he moved it to this isolated spot a half-mile mauka of Kamehameha Highway.
There's no homes, no residential. There's no vapors that are offensive to you folks coming off this material.
Stay wants to start what is called a bioremediation operation here on the site of a failed prawn farm. It would involve digging and lining a holding area about the size of a football field where he would use bacteria to eat the petroleum out of the soil. Robert Stay says if he is allowed to proceed with his project, he can decontaminate petroleum-polluted soil like this and return this land to agricultural production.
I can treat this material and treat materials that are contaminated with hydrocarbons.
Stay has used his process to clean oil-contaminated soil at construction sites, such as this one last year at the corner of Queen and South Streets. State health inspectors visited the Honolulu site today to determine if this soil poses an environmental hazard.
To discuss with the site operator some possible interim measures, protective measures that might be necessary.
The health department has already issued a permit for Stay to construct his bioremediation facility, but he still needs a city land use permit. In Honolulu, I'm Ray Lovell, Channel 2 News.
Stay says his operation would not require any construction above ground, and he says he would close it after 5 years. Still ahead on our Channel 2 News, the party's in full swing in downtown Honolulu in anticipation of the switching on of the Christmas lights. We'll go live to our Emmy for the countdown. And if toys are one of the biggest needs of the community clearinghouse, a close second is batteries. We'll show you how you can help thousands of kids this holiday season through our Lokahi tree.
Whoever said less is more isn't talking about my money.
I say a penny earned is a penny saved.
Money talks. I want to hear it loud and clear.
You know, it's depressing how little some banks pay for using your money.
Is anybody listening?
Is anybody listening?
At American Savings Bank, you get the most for your money.
Supreme me with the taco supreme. Supreme me. Or a nacho supreme with the taste like heaven come to earth. Taco Bell Supreme. Supreme me. Burrito Supreme. Supreme me. The soft taco supreme. Absolutely divine. Supreme me one more time. Taco Bell Supremes. Run for the bar.
If you missed the Fairway Terrace auction, it's not too late. A limited number of fee-simple golf course-oriented condominiums on the Kohala Coast are now available at auction day prices from $70,000 to $95,000. That's approximately 60% of the original price. 3% broker participation still offered. Don't miss this exceptional home buying or investment opportunity on the Big Island. Prices may never again be this low. Call 808-883-8787 for more information. That number again is 808-883-8787. Call today.
BJ Furniture announces the one great sale.
Featuring the two top names in bedding, Sealy and Simmons.
The selection is tremendous.
The savings are incredible.
Prices start at just $77 each piece.
Queen size sets from just $3.99.
King size sets from $4.99.
Save on Sealy Posturepedics and Simmons Beauty Rest.
And get free next day disposal when we deliver your new bedding with Mattress Express.
Plus, make no monthly and no interest payments for 90 days.
This is the one great bedding sale.
This is one sale you can't afford to miss.
Get to BJ's one great sale this week.
Have you ever experienced the frustration of needing a battery to power something with no battery in sight? Well, that's the kind of frustration our community service project, the Lokahi Tree, is trying to prevent disadvantaged children from going through this Christmas. Our partner in the Lokahi Tree, the Community Clearinghouse, is working hard to give toys to the needy children on its list. And many of the favorite toys require battery-powered power. Well, Clearinghouse volunteers are hard-pressed to buy batteries with all the other needs of the little ones, like diapers and formula. Still, the thought of giving toys that require batteries without the batteries, well...
Well, you know, it's embarrassing, because the kid opens the toy on Christmas Day and he's all excited and bright-eyed and immediately wants to play with it. And there's no way he can. And, a lot of families just don't have the money to go run out and buy batteries. So the kid's got to wait until there's a paycheck or the welfare comes in or whatever.
Here are the phone numbers to call if you'd like to donate any size batteries or cash. The Clearinghouse will give you a receipt for tax purposes. Those phone numbers, 845-1669 or 847-5270. Or take any kind of donation for a needy child to the Ala Moana Center this Saturday afternoon. Some familiar members of our Channel 2 News team will be at the Mackay Market accepting gifts that the Clearinghouse will distribute to children who might otherwise go without. Well, it's almost time to turn the Christmas lights on in Tamron Park downtown. Let's go live to our Emmy Tamimbong, who's tonight's MC for the Bishop Square lighting ceremony. Emmy, time yet to throw the switch?
Yes, we're just a few minutes away, and Joe, we can hear you. So everyone from Tamron Square, let's say hello, Joe, on a count of three, okay? 1, 2, 3. Did you get that, Joe?
Yeah, now, they weren't just saying hello to any old Joe, were they?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Joe, we're here at Tamron Square Park. It is the 11th year of this lighting ceremony tradition, but tonight it's very special. Basically because this gentleman who's been doing 8 of those 11 years is going to be setting Tamron Park aglow for the last time. He is retiring after 17 years, and they just gifted him with a cruise on the QE2 with his wife and on the Supersonic Concorde. George, your final thoughts about getting ready to set this light up for the last time in your 17-year career?
Well, I'm going to miss everybody here. It's a great island. We're going to be moving to the mainland. Great company. Our maintenance crew's done a fantastic job tonight. You're going to see over 200,000 lights. So they've been working since the end of October, so they've done a heck of a good job.
Okay, we've got 100,000 more lights. So right now, 200,000 little bulbs are surrounding the tree, right?
That's right. Got plenty of lights.
All right, instead of doing the countdown from 10, audience, I want you to help me because all of Hawaii can hear us. We're going to start from 5. All right? So shall we do it now, George? Your final moment, anytime?
Yep.
Okay, let's do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there you have it.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Okay.
It's just such a special moment.
It really is.
I look forward to it every year at this time. Ah, pretty though, huh?
It really is. Are you a Grinch or what?
No, but you know, you get it's like you're expecting the shuttle to take off or something, and some lights. It looks much more impressive in person.
Yeah, you're right.
It's hard to capture on a wide screen shot on TV. It's really beautiful in person. Not that it wasn't nice to look at here on TV. Bob Hogue here with sports, and tonight, beginning of a big night for basketball.
That's right. The Rainbows going to be taking on the Golden Hurricane from Tulsa. Also some NFL football highlights, so stay tuned for all that.
Tony Smith and a rare first down for the Falcons.
This season, when you buy a KFC holiday meal, I'll give you a coupon book worth up to $75 on select Mattel toys.
Enjoy the KFC Hawaii Holiday Meal. 8 pieces of delicious chicken with all the trimmings, just $10.99. Or get 12 pieces of chicken. Or a 30-piece bucket of hot wings for the same great price. The holiday meal deals, worth over $75 in savings at Toys R Us or your local Mattel retailer. From Lake Edna to Hawaii,
Happy holidays!
A Parker pen was chosen to sign the 1899 Spanish-American Peace Treaty, the World War II peace treaties, the Korean War peace treaty, the Strategic Arms Reduction treaties. For nearly a century, we've been doing our small part to bring peace on Earth. Happy holidays. Parker Insignia. The tradition continues.
Available at fine stores throughout Hawaii.
I would sit and eat until I couldn't eat anymore. It showed on my body. Being on the program taught me to respect food. Everything is portion controlled. You get to supplement Jenny's food with fresh vegetables, fresh fruits. Halfway to go, we're weaned off Jenny's food and we learn how to cook for ourselves. I still love to eat, but I'm just smarter about it.
Call us right now and lose all you want for just $1 a pound. Pick up the phone and call. Do it.
Fluger introduces the 1993 Acuras. See the 93 Acura Integra, the classic legend, the sleek Vigor, and the incredible NSX. And now you can lease to own a world-class 93 Legend sedan for only $399 a month. And remember, all 93 Acuras come with a 4-year, 50,000-mile factory warranty, with unbeatable prices and over 150 Acuras to choose from. Isn't it time you leased a Fluger Acura?
Come see Fluger Acura first.
This portion of the Channel 2 News is being brought to you by Fluger Acura, the exclusive Acura dealer in Hawaii. Come see Fluger Acura first.
Hi, everybody. A special edition of NFL football tonight. The New Orleans Saints taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Saints looking to become the second team to clinch a playoff spot. We head to the Deep South, where the Saints' Bobby Hebert completed his first 7 passes. This one a touch pass to Quinn Early. Great catch to get the Saints rolling in the first half. But the Saints could only manage 3 field goals during that time period. Morton Anderson was perfect, and it was 9-0 New Orleans. Now, the most bizarre play of the first 30 minutes came on the final play of the half. Hebert going back to pass, going for the Hail Mary. The Falcons come up with the interception. Now the lateral to Deion Sanders, and it gets real fun. Neon Deion getting some open field. The question is, will anybody catch him? The answer? Someone will, but just barely. A 58-yard return had everybody's heart pounding. But that wasn't the craziest play of the game. This one in the third quarter was a fumble on the field goal attempt. And watch number 58. Yeah, that's Jesse Tuggle of the Falcons, who came in, swooped up the football, and he is off to the races. Gone. See ya. Falcons eventually go up 14-12. But in the final 2 minutes, the Saints get their 5th field goal of the game. Anderson is perfect, and they will take the lead 15-14. But this game is not over. Not until the Falcons' final drive. Wade Wilson intercepted by Toy Cook, and Cook is going to take this one back all the way. And he does it on his birthday. Happy birthday, Toy. Saints win a real Donnybrook, 22-14. Here is that score. Saints clinching at least a wild card spot in the NFC. Well, the UH men's basketball season tips off tonight with the Rainbows hosting Tulsa University. The Bows have been very impressive in 2 exhibition games and have a veteran team, plus a notable newcomer in Trevor Ruffin. Here's head coach Riley Wallace.
Well, our two exhibition games, I think we learned something in each one. You know, the early one against New Zealand, with 2 weeks into practice, and this one after 4 weeks of practice, you saw definite improvements. And we've shuffled our lineup off and on, and we have a better game plan, I would say, for Tulsa, and maybe correct some of the errors that we made in the game against High Five America. I think we have to play a better half-court offense. Our transition looks good. We've got to cut down the turnovers. It's harder to run and shoot than it is to play half court because you got to make quicker and better decisions, and just play a little better half court game when the defenses get a little tougher, as they will when we start playing the Division I teams. So I think we'll be ready to play Tulsa.
Tip-off for tonight's game, 7:30 at the Blaisdell, and we'll have highlights, post-game comments for you tonight at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow, meanwhile, the UH Wahine basketball team begins its season. The Wahine Invitational features the top 2 teams in the nation. Wahine coach Vince Gu says this kind of competition is exactly what his very young team needs.
Tournament this weekend has number 1, number 2 in Stanford and Tennessee, and also number 8 in Stephen F. Austin. Arkansas State has the best guard in the country, who we saw in the NWIT last year. So it's a very good field, and our leagues will have to play some basketball to survive over this first weekend.
Well, it's going to be a challenge for us. I think we can only learn from this tournament. You know, we're looking forward to it, and we're just going to go in and play as hard as we can.
We've done this over the years, and when our program was, you know, average, we had a lot of good teams, Texas and Tennessee and Virginia's coming in, and our ladies got to play against them, got to watch them play. People like Judy Mosley way back, and that made us better, and I think that has brought our program along. Our ladies will see some good teams, will see some good players, will be able to compete against them, and it can't, you know, do anything but make you better.
Be an interesting weekend. Wahine basketball, men's basketball, big football game against Pitt. There
All
we
right.
go.
Looking for a big crowd at the Blaisdell tonight?
I certainly would hope so. The game's not on television, so we should get a pretty good crowd.
Okay. Let's take a look at our island weather now. The high temperature in Honolulu today, 85 degrees. The overnight low, 69. Currently 74 degrees, relative humidity 84%, winds east-northeasterly at 7 miles per hour. On our first satellite map of the northern Pacific Basin, we see a band of clouds stretching from Alaska to the western end of the Hawaiian island chain. The band covers a weather front that is moving southeasterly. This 1,000-mile map gives us a closer view of the tail end of the front, which has been hanging around the island chain for the past several days. And our next map shows high, lighter-colored clouds moving over the islands from the southwest. However, forecasters say the lower, dark-colored clouds will produce standard trade wind showers throughout the state. High temperatures around the state today range from 85 degrees at Barbers Point to 81 degrees in Lihue. Tonight, forecasters say we'll have mostly fair skies, a few windward and Mauka showers, a low in the lower 70s, and trade winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a few windward and Mauka showers, a high in the mid-80s, trade winds increasing to 15 to 25 miles per hour. Finally tonight, did you know the reason there's no expiration date on toothpaste is because it doesn't have perishable ingredients, so it doesn't go bad. The flavor might change slightly over the years, but it remains an effective cavity fighter. That's our early report. That's almost as exciting as the lights. Yeah. Almost, not quite. That's our early report for this Thursday. Bob and I'll be back with the latest news and sports on our 10 o'clock news, and that's right after a new episode of LA Law. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again at 10.
See you then.